Today we're going to talk about the biggest secret in all of Vox Machina. The loudest person in the room is also the loneliest. The funniest person is also the saddest. And the man who can read anyone better than anyone else. He will do anything to stop you from reading him. Scanlan Shorthalt doesn't use his charm to make friends. He uses it to build walls. Every dirty joke, every bawdy song, every over-the-top performance is not for you. It's for him. It's a shield. A way to control exactly how you see him. A way to make sure you never get close enough to see the broken man underneath. We all know people like this. The friend who is always making jokes even when they're hurting. The person who turns every serious conversation into a meme. The one who never talks about themselves. We think they're the happiest people we know, but they're just the best at hiding how much they're suffering. That's Scanlan. His entire life is a performance, and he's the greatest actor Vox Machina ever knew. Let's start with the most obvious thing. Scanlan is the smartest person in Vox Machina. Not the most book smart, not the best at math or magic, but the most emotionally intelligent. He can read a room in 2 seconds. He can tell exactly what someone is afraid of, what someone wants, what someone is hiding. And he uses that power not to connect, but to deflect. Think about it. Every time a conversation gets too serious, every time someone tries to talk about their feelings, Scanlan makes a joke. Every time someone tries to ask him how he's doing, he deflects with a song or a dirty comment. He never lets anyone get too close, because if they do, they might see that he's not as confident as he pretends to be. This is what psychologists call the sad clown effect. The people who are the funniest are often the people who are in the most pain. They use humor as a defense mechanism. They make you laugh so you don't ask them why they're crying. They make you like the performance so you don't notice the real person behind it. The worst part is it works. Everyone loves Scanlan, the performer. Everyone loves the funny gnome who sings dirty songs and saves the day with a well-timed joke. But no one loves Scanlan, the man. No one even knows he exists. Even his own teammates see him as a character, not a person. They laugh at his jokes, they cheer for his songs, but they never ask him how he's really doing. They never look past the mask. Because Scanlan has made sure of it. He has spent years curating this perfect persona, so no one will ever have to see the broken, lonely little boy underneath. Now let's talk about the most twisted part of all. Scanlan's greatest strength is his ability to make people feel seen. He knows exactly what to say to make someone feel better. He knows exactly what someone needs to hear, but he never lets anyone do the same for him. He can see every single one of his friends' insecurities. He knows that Vax is scared of losing the people he loves. He knows that Pike is scared of not being good enough. He knows that Grog is scared of being alone, and he uses that knowledge to help them, to comfort them, to make them feel loved. But he never lets anyone see his insecurities. He never lets anyone comfort him. He never lets anyone love him, because he doesn't believe he deserves it. This is the weaponization of empathy. Scanlan uses his ability to understand people to keep them at a distance. He gives them just enough intimacy to keep them happy, but never enough to get close. He creates this fake version of closeness where everyone thinks they know him, but no one really does. It's brilliant, really, and it's heartbreaking. Because the man who is better at connecting with people than anyone else in the world is completely and utterly alone. Scanlan doesn't just want people to like him, he needs them to. Because he hates himself so much that the only way he can feel worthy is if everyone else is cheering for him. Every round of applause, every laugh, every cheer fills the void inside him for a little while. But it never lasts. As soon as the room goes quiet, the self-loathing comes back. As soon as no one is looking, he remembers that he's just a tiny, lonely gnome who no one really loves. That's why he's so obsessed with his legacy. That's why he talks about the legend of Scanlan Shorthalt all the time. Because he's terrified that when he dies, no one will remember him. That he will have lived his whole life for nothing. That no one will ever care that he existed. There's a moment that perfectly sums this up. After a big battle, everyone is celebrating. They're talking about what they did, how they fought, how they saved the day, and Scanlan is sitting in the corner quiet. No one notices him. No one asks him how he is. And in that moment, you can see it on his face. The fear. The loneliness, the realization that even after everything he's done, no one really sees him. That's the cost of the performance. You can spend your whole life making everyone love you. But if no one loves the real you, it doesn't mean anything. Eventually, the mask starts to crack. You can only pretend to be someone else for so long. And for Scanlan, the breaking point came when he met his daughter Kaylee. Kaylee didn't know about the legend of Scanlan Shorthalt. She didn't care about his songs or his jokes or his reputation. She just knew him as the father who abandoned her. And for the first time in his life, someone was seeing the real Scanlan. Not the performer, not the legend, just a man who made a lot of mistakes, and it destroyed him. Because, for the first time, he couldn't perform his way out of it. He couldn't make a joke or sing a song to make it better. He had to face the truth. He had to face the fact that he had hurt people, that he had been running his whole life, that the mask he had built to protect himself had actually trapped him. The final breaking point came when he had that big fight with Vox Machina. The one where he said, "I'm just the guy who makes the poop jokes." That line isn't funny. It's the saddest thing he ever said, because it's what he truly believed. That he was nothing more than comic relief. That his friends didn't love him. They just loved the jokes. And that's why he left. He didn't leave because he was angry. He left because he was broken. He left because he realized that the life he had built was a lie, that the friends he loved didn't know the real him, and that he didn't know the real him either. A lot of people got mad at Scanlan for leaving. They said he was being selfish, that he was abandoning his friends, but they were wrong. Leaving was the bravest thing he ever did, because for the first time in his life, he stopped performing. He stopped being the person everyone wanted him to be, and he started trying to find out who he really was. That's the thing no one talks about. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away. Sometimes you have to leave the people you love to find yourself. Sometimes you have to break everything to build something real. When Scanlan came back, he was different. He was still funny. He still sang his songs, but he wasn't performing anymore. He was just being himself. He let people get close. He let people love him. He finally learned that he didn't need everyone's applause to be worthy. He just needed to be loved for who he was. That's the real lesson of Scanlan Shorthalt's story. We all wear masks. We all perform for other people. We all pretend to be someone we're not because we're scared that the real us isn't good enough. But true intimacy isn't about being perfect. It's about being broken. It's about letting someone see the parts of you that you're ashamed of. It's about stopping the performance and risking being seen in the silence. It's scary. It's terrifying. Because when you let someone see the real you, they might not like what they see. But it's the only way to ever be truly loved. Scanlan spent most of his life running from that truth. He built walls and masks and performances to protect himself. But in the end, he learned that the only way to not be alone is to let someone in. So the next time you watch Vox Machina and you laugh at Scanlan's jokes, remember this. The loudest voice in the room is often the one crying out for help the most. The funniest person is often the one who needs to be loved the most. And if you see someone who is always making jokes, always performing, always the life of the party, maybe take a minute to ask them how they're really doing. Maybe they just need someone to see past the mask. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Scanlan Shorthalt, hit subscribe for more analysis of the characters that make fantasy great. And let me know in the comments below who is your most misunderstood character in Vox Machina. I'll see you in the next video.